We're on our way to Toronto with no apartment. We look at the bathroom. No! I am finally sitting down to finish the story. I am finally going to give you the part 2. How did I become a flight attendant? You're gonna know how did I move from Montreal to Toronto with only $1,000 in my bank account? Is that even possible? Hello my beautiful people, long time no see. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Davina. Do not forget to subscribe and also to turn on your post notification because you don't want to miss any of my videos. You already know the drill. If you haven't watched part 1,
I had so many emotions. I was like, what am I supposed to do? And I get to the bus station. My bus left without me. If it was a man having to take that decision, okay? Come closer to me.
So make sure you check the description box and you're gonna find all the links from my hair, the product that I use, my nails, everything is gonna be there. So make sure you grab a snack, something to drink because it's gonna be a long one. It's very entertaining, but there's also some lessons that are incorporated because there's always lessons to learn in life, right? Without further ado, keep on watching and enjoy. I am back with my bald head. I am about to install this wig. I am not sure if it's from Wiggins Hair or Eunice Hair. Usually I always alternate between these two companies because I feel like they have the best quality wigs. It was a curly hair, like a wavy curly hair 14-inch. I've worn this wig already, so I'm about to reinstall it. It doesn't come pre-pluck. It comes with the separation, so it's gonna be like a closure in the front. I think it's a 5x5 or a 5x6. It doesn't go really deep. I am about to install it while I tell you the story time. This is part 2 of how did I become a flight attendant. So let's start. I put a ball cap, well, a wig cap. I cut this part because this part you can see it through the lace and I don't want you to see the bend. I'm not gonna do the ball cap method. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down just a little bit the edge here in the front because that's gonna be the part right there where my closure is. I'm going to use the Ghost Bond. This is the best one so far. This has been the best, so I'm just gonna apply a little bit of this Ghost Bond glue. It's probably dry down because I used it so much, but honestly it lasts me a long time. I'm not doing the full ball cap method because I'm gonna keep this wig probably a week or so. Where did I left you guys? I'm not gonna talk about all the things like when it comes to like my training. If you guys want a separate video, how did the training happen, interview and stuff like that, I can do a proper full like dedicated video. I have a lot of experience. I mean, I've been a flight attendant for 8 years now, so if ever you're looking for more specific question, you can leave them down below in the comment section and I will do a video for you guys. I have no problem for that. I finished my training was 2 months and then it was time for me to choose my base. In Canada we had 4 choices. It was Montreal, Calgary, Toronto or Vancouver. Montreal is where I'm from, but unfortunately with this company you cannot start in Montreal. You have to start in the West Coast and then ask for a transfer to come back to Montreal. So a lot of people from Montreal, they get hired, but then they're gonna have to move obviously to a different city. I decided to choose Toronto. The reason why is because it was the proximity. I was like, you know what, it's my first time moving somewhere else, you know, for a long time. I don't even know for how long. Let me not go and explore too far away, even though I was very tempted to go to Vancouver. It takes like 5 hours to get there on a plane. I never been, so I was like, yeah, the experience could be fun.
It's pricey.
I decided, you know what, let me go with Toronto. It's right there. It's like a 4-hour drive. Ever something happened, I can just drive back in my car and come back home. Let me just go to Toronto. I only put a little bit of foundation in the cap here. So it has 2 combs on the side and 1 in the back. I only kept the 1 in the back. I removed these 2 because they are hurting my ears, like they're bothering me. I'm just gonna glue the front and put the comb in the back, secure it tight, and it works perfectly. Okay, let's see. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the middle. I think it's from Eunice. I think I received those clips with the wigs and it says Eunice here. I definitely have a feeling that it's from Eunice. I'm gonna try to see if I can link it down below. I don't like to use a blow dryer. I feel like the blow dryer dries it too fast for me. I'd rather use the band and just wait. Is better for me. The other product that I'm gonna use are from the brand My Sticky Little Secret. This is the skin protector. You're gonna apply it on your forehead before you put your glue down, just to protect your skin. I'm gonna use just some paper towel and I'm gonna apply it on my skin. Just want to apply it on my face, and I like to dab it around. I'm gonna apply just a little bit of foundation here, just to like blend it with my skin a bit more. I think you had, I don't really remember like exactly, but what I do remember is that we had like, I think like a couple of days in between before you have to like report to your base. I think I had like 5 days in total, but in those 5 days there was 3 days that were counted like I had to be in Toronto. So they were giving us hotel like accommodation for 3 days only. And when I think about it, 3 days is very short.
When I tell you I was stressed,
you're supposed to move to another city in 3 days. I understand, but they should have given us at least maybe a week, at least 5 days. Come on. I apply the glue and put my band, and then we go about our merry way. Obviously, I know for a fact I cannot afford to live in Toronto by myself, and I have to have roommates. At that time, I think I was 26. I always lived at my parents' house. I never left my house. That was going to be like a full experience for me. Not everybody is trying to find roommates. Groups are starting to like, you know, happening like, so these people want to move together, these two want to move together. I was talking to a couple of people, but I never had like, you know, like a group. There was these 2 girls, Isabella and Bella. It's gonna be easier. Isabella, you and I think we're gonna move together, right? But obviously it would be cheaper if we can have somebody else with us. So then she mentioned Bella. During the training, that's where I really like started to like get to know Bella. I liked her vibes. So I was like, yeah. So I feel like us 3, it's gonna be such a good vibe. Isabella mentioned that she had a friend that was in another class that was graduating at the same time. We're gonna call her Stephanie, okay? So Stephanie is Isabella's friend, but she's in another class, and then Isabella and Bella are in my class, but we're all graduating at the same time. The gag is, guys, we're not done training yet. We still have to go through all the tests. Still had a few exams to go through. Every time you fail an exam, you get, let's say, I'm gonna put it in the very like easiest simple way that I can. So whenever you have an exam and you fail, you lose some points, and then there's an amount of points that if you go below that, you are expelled. You won't make it. You can lose points, you guys, for everything. You're late, you lose a point. We cannot lose points for like silly stuff. Like, we have to make sure that we go through it because we want to move together. Unfortunately, Bella didn't make it. We lost Bella like almost at the end of the training. We were so sad. Like, yo, that was like a moment that I was like, wow, like I really love that girl, and I felt like, damn, I'm not gonna see that girl anymore. Like, that was my only introduction to her. Me, Isabella, and Stephanie, we did graduated, but it was a bit bittersweet, you know, because the plan was for us to be 4 and now we're 3. And you guys, lesson number 1, really make sure that you have, even if it's a group of people, like I'm talking about in life in general, make sure you have that one friend that you know that you can count on, that you know that this person, no matter what can happen, is gonna be there for you. You're gonna understand why I'm saying that later, but do not ever expect 10 people to root for you. Out of that 10, there's probably gonna be only 1 that's really there for you for the right reason. Graduation happened, we're happy, but now it's time. We really have to move to Toronto. I had my car, Stephanie had a car. That's a very important thing to remember in that story. Remember, I packed all my stuff, put in my little Toyota Corolla, my little red Toyota that I had at the time. Yeah, it was so cute. And we're cruising, we're driving, we're on our way to Toronto with no apartment. I probably had like $1,000 in my pocket. Yeah, do that. I don't recommend, but I mean, yellow. We had 3 days at an hotel that was paid by the company, but then after the 3 days, you have to move. So as soon as we get to the hotel, we're searching. And I say we, I want to say it's more me and Isabella. Stephanie is there, but I don't know. I feel like she's not really there 100%, you know? And I was right. My gut, when I tell you, second lesson of this video, whenever you have a feeling, you know that feeling, trust it. We all had 3 days, but we didn't have to put the 3 days on all the same days. So what we did is we overlapped our days. My schedule was the first one, so we had to use my days first, and then Isabella, her days was following. So technically it's like we had a 6 day of hotel. We get there, everybody that's here is like having fun, enjoying, having party, because some people, they already found apartment before me. I wasn't looking because I was like, I don't want to stress myself looking for a place when I don't even have the diploma in my hand. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I know some people will say no, you should have found a place before, but at the same time, I still have to pay a deposit or whatever, and then what if I don't make it? Then now I just lost my money for no reason. So in my head I was like, you know what, no, I'm gonna wait until I'm sure that, yeah, like I'm really making it through, and start looking for a place, you know. Me and Isabella were looking for places. We go visit one place, it's ugly. We go to another place, it's dirty. The neighborhood is sketchy. Yo, Toronto has some, most of the sketchiest neighborhood. I know Montreal has some, but damn, this is another level. And then one day, just like that, Stephanie says, you know what, guys? I have an auntie that lives in Toronto, so I'm gonna move with her. Deuces. I was so speechless for Isabella, because don't forget, that's your friend. That's your friend.
That's your friend? Ain't that your friend? Ain't that your friend?
That's supposed to be your friend. And she didn't even ask you to come with her. At least ditch me. You can ditch me, but you ditch your friend. Lesson number 3, you guys. Never know really who is your friend until there's a deep down situation that's gonna happen in your life. Isabella was more loyal to me than her friend was loyal to her, which is crazy to me. I don't know what they discuss. If the reason why she didn't move with her is because of me, but if it wasn't because of me, and then maybe the other girl didn't want to move where she is, it's still a shitty move from Stephanie. And don't forget, I have a car, Stephanie have a car, Isabella doesn't have a car, so she has to take the bus, the Uber or whatever to get anywhere she wants to go, even to go to work. So I really felt bad, because I'm like, yo, you're like leaving the girl with all her stuff in the street, man. I mean, I have my car, so we can put your stuff with my stuff in the trunk, and then we're gonna keep searching. So now we're 2. It's gonna be expensive to find a place, but it's not impossible. We're gonna make it happen. Let's go, let's search. The thing is, me, I was stressing because I was on call at my last day. I was literally on call the next day, so I was like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? Because then we're not gonna have a place to stay. We're searching, cannot find a place. Thank God I had a car so we can move around and go see places. But yo, the gas, I was becoming broken. There's another group of girls. They were 4. They found a house, but I guess when they went to visit the house, the basement was nasty. And that's something too I don't understand with Toronto. No windows. So I'm supposed to live in just artificial lighting. You only have one door, barely space to like be standing up, like fully, like I say fully, not scrunch up. Lights, no windows. That's something I didn't understand until I moved to Toronto. I was like, yo, what is up with all those basements? Yeah, they're cheap, but I understand why they're cheap. It's because you can't breathe. These 4 girls ended up saying, you guys, can we join with you? So we're like, okay. It's a good thing, but at the same time, it's a bad thing, because now we're 6. How are we gonna find a place to accommodate 6 people? The only thing we can do is rent a house. The only thing that can save us is, because we're on call and we have different schedule, we're not really gonna cross path with each other that much. So there's always gonna be like a rotation. Found one place. The address was very sketchy. First of all, these two Indian guys, okay, they posted an ad that they had a basement for rent. I think it was 4-bedroom and the living room, like the living space in the basement. So like, okay, at least we have 4-bedroom, we can split and then have the common space. But then they said that they want us to move with them. So I was like, oh, so you guys are living upstairs? Is there a door that closed from the basement? Is like, no, so we're really sharing the house with them. I wasn't for it, but I'm like, you know what, let me not judge. Living with you guys, I don't know about that, but okay, we're gonna go see just to see. In the meantime, I think that in that group too, there was somewhat of a separation. So when we met the 4 girls, something happened, then they split it and they were 2 and 2. So 2 of that group came and see us. So now we were 4. We went to go see the house with the Indian guys. I don't even remember. I think it was Markham or somewhere up north in Toronto, far away from everything. It's a suburban, like very like family friendly neighborhood. I have a car, so me it's okay, but all the girls don't have their car. How are they gonna manage to even find a bus to bring them to the airport? So we were like, okay, I think it's not gonna work because it's very far, but damn, we drive all the way there. We're gonna have to go and see that place. The guy greeted us. We go in the basement. Same thing again. Dark basement. Like, what's the thing with those dark basement, man? Honestly, it's so dark. I'm like, yo, I don't think I'm gonna be able to live in this thing forever, you guys. But I understand we're gonna have to sacrifice for now, but I don't know. It wasn't clean. The carpet was, I feel like that carpet, I have never seen a vacuum in their life. You can smell the humidity and the cigarettes, so I could tell they were smokers. Nothing was great. There was nothing good in our apartment. I think we're gonna cancel that. We drive back to the hotel. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna go to work and I don't have a place to stay. What am I gonna do? Like, Lord, what am I gonna do? And don't forget, I never mentioned anything of that sort to my family, my parents. Like, they know about the hotel, but they didn't know that I was struggling searching for a place to stay. We go back to the hotel. There was this group of guys that was in my class as well, and they said that they were still looking for a place. They didn't look like they were stressed. I feel like they were like living life on the cloud. On a house, but the house, I think they were two guys. Something happened with them too, their group. People keep falling and falling, telling you, stress will make people crumble. Like, okay, we're 4 girls, so it's gonna be 4 girls, 2 boys, 6 people. At least if there's boys, in a way, it's a bit safer. We know them, but we don't know them. We just know them out of the training. But it's like, at least we're gonna be with people that we know. We go to see the house. The house is far, but like Isabella was like, you know what, I think I can survive, because if at least we can find a place, I don't mind. It's an Indian couple. They have a house to rent. It's the entire house. I think it was 2006 at that time to 2017. That was in 2017, so it was cheaper. I think it was 2006, 2008, something like that. Split it by 6. I'm not good in math. I'm gonna put how much it was per person. It's gonna be our entire paycheck, but it is what it is. Again, I was the only one with my car. Other people were driving, but they didn't have a car, like physically. So the thing is, the people that were taking the bus, it was very far. I think it was somewhere in Brampton. Like, Brampton is doable with a car, but bus and all to go all the way to the airport is kind of unfair for the people that walk. The 2 girls said, oh, they found something else, so they ditched us. The 2 guys, I think one guy said he found, like, I don't know, like a family member or something. He left. And then the other guy said, you know what, I think I'm just gonna do a crash pad or something. So we were back again to just me and Isabella. We went into the room. I started crying, you guys. I was crying. I was like, Isabella, what are we going to do? Today is my last day. Like, at least I can move my stuff to your room, but we still are looking for a place to live. What are we gonna do? And she was like, oh, don't worry, trust me, I got you. Yo, I'm gonna be searching. I was losing faith, you guys. I had to turn to God and start praying. I was like, yo, God. Yeah, I didn't say it like that, but I'm telling you the story like that. But so what I like to do is I like to push the hair back, because after that, what I'm gonna do after I finish that side, I'm gonna use the melting spray, still from my little it's my sticky little secret. I'm gonna use the melting spray. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do that side off camera, and then I'm gonna come back when it's time to put the melting spray, and then we're gonna curl our hair and finish the story together. I am done gluing down the wigs. You can see it's glued down all the way. I did not plug that much here because you're not even gonna see it, because the hair is literally falling like that. So now I'm going to use the melting spray, like I said. So I love this product. It took me some time to like really like get used to it, but this is really what's gonna create the effect of the airline. Like your airline is like defined, and like it has that like that wet feeling that I like. Don't do baby hair. I noticed that I don't like the baby hair when it comes to wigs. Make sure I brush the hair back so I can get my hairline like exposed. And then you just spray directly the melting spray, and you will brush just a little bit on that part, like straight in my hairline, like that. And don't worry, it's not gonna make your glue melt at all. So I go and I will use that little brush. Oh, this thing is going in my eye. Hey, too much. Okay, so I will go and comb and brush at the same time, because I'm trying to like get the hairline defined, you know, because that's what I want to see. It's like those lines, kind of. I don't know if it makes sense, like, but you see what I'm doing. In this part, I will only just fake a baby hair, kind of, sort of. I don't know if you guys can see what it's doing. Do you see? I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I like to comb and brush to really define the hairline. Continue with the brushing and like that. And also I like to even apply it in the middle here. I'm going to put my headband to secure it, and we're gonna let it dry. They say 15 minutes. Oh, I forgot the baby hair on this side. They say 15 minutes, but you can do, I guess, how long as you want. I do it while I curl my hair, so that way it stays very like input and intact. Now we can curl our hair and continue with the story. I'm gonna use my Revlon a curling wand, a inch. Girl, everything that I mentioned in this video is going to be listed down below, so make sure you check the description box down below. Everything is going to be there. So I like this size because it gives that nice curly, but because the hair is short, it's going to make it more poofier. I love it. Also, it comes with a glove, which I appreciate because I don't want to burn myself. Where was I? I was crying in my room, right? It was at my time to call in to see if they were going to give me a flight for the next day, which they did, obviously. So I was doing a Edmonton turn. Nothing exciting for my very first flight ever. We know that I'm working early morning. On top of that, Isabella is like, don't worry, girl, while you're gone, I'm gonna make calls, I'm gonna look for places. We still have 3 days, so we're gonna be fine, because don't forget, her days are starting after. So now I move all my stuff to her room. We are now in her room for 3 more days. The only 3 days that we have. I will take a big chunk, and then I'm gonna split it in 2. The closer I get to like the front, I'm gonna go a little bit smaller just to have more definition, but in the back is not necessary. It's time for me to go to work. Isabella is looking for apartment. She's texting me, she's telling me, oh, I found 2, we just have to go visit them when you come back. We don't hear from anybody, huh? Stephanie, missing in action. I don't know where is Stephanie. She didn't even like check up on us. I found it was so mean of her. You know, it's like, you already abandoned us. Like, at least you don't owe me nothing. Like, if we want to be like even like completely honest, she doesn't owe me nothing, but your friend. What about your friend? What I do is I place it like that down, and then I curl away from my face. Where's the cable? Okay, like that. See? And when I'm done, I let it sit in my hands just a little bit before I let it go down. I'm gonna use my L'Oreal. This one is the Elnet Satin, the Stronghold. I'm gonna spray every curl just a little bit. Yeah. Now I'm going back to the hotel. Isabella tells me she found 2 apartments. It was 2 rooms. One of them was in an apartment and the other one was in a house. They were both owned by the same guy. One was cheaper. The one in the house was cheaper because we were going to rent with a bunch of strangers in the house. Then the apartment, we were going to split it with one guy. And I'm like, who is this guy? I don't know. I didn't feel very comfortable with that idea. So I was like, okay, well, we're gonna go and see. Like, praying on the way to get there, like, yo, hopefully we can find something. Hopefully we can find something. I wasn't really happy, honestly, because I'm like, yo, I wanted to have my room because, you know, for me, it's a whole totally new experience. I never had a roommate. I never really lived with nobody except for my family. So I was like, okay, I know I'm being bougie and picky, but I cannot be bougie and picky, honestly, because right now it's survival mode. I guess we'll have no choice but to share a room. The apartment itself, it wasn't that bad. The thing is the location. Like, our room, you can literally from the sidewalk open my window and get into my bedroom. I was like, yeah, I know I don't want to be picky. I was like, Isabella, I know it's not time to be picky, but girl, this ain't it. Where is it? There's no way we can live there. It's not safe. She's like, yeah, I know, but then what are we gonna do? I'm like, okay, well, I guess we have no choice to go see the house and let's compare and see, because if it's bad too, then we're stuck. We're back to square one. We tell the guy, okay, can we go see the house instead? And I'm asking questions. I'm like, who's living in the house, you know? And then he's like, oh, well, there's a girl. As soon as he said that, okay, there's another woman. Thank you. There was a student. The girl was the student. There was 2 guys. One was a worker. I never saw that guy in my life. Okay, I guess we have no choice to take this one. Isabella was like, yo, Davina, we're just gonna suck it up. At least it's month to month. It's $400. We just have to share the 400. So it's gonna be 200 for you and I, just to suck it up for now. And then after that, we can find something else. I'm like, yeah. We moved in. As soon as we moved in, I was like, okay, we still have to find somewhere else. Like, we're not gonna stay there because we have to share a room. And let me tell you, the bed situation was crazy. It was a bed that had like a underbed that you can pull. Isabella was like, okay, I can leave you the real bed and then I can leave on the floor. I don't mind. We look at the bathroom. No! The landlord had the audacity of telling me and Isabella that this bathroom, we have to clean the bathroom. I was like, excuse me? And what about the other people in this house? We're all gonna share tax, right? He's like, no, but this room is the bathroom that's assigned. What are the odds that the last room is for the bathroom? Yeah, I never cleaned that bathroom. We're like, okay, it's just for 1 month. It's just for 1 month. Things with me and Isabella started to go a little bit left. Isabella was starting to get homesick. Isabella had a boyfriend too, and I feel like the boyfriend was very like I'm not trying like to talk bad on him, but I feel like he was really like into like overpowering on her, like in a way that she felt like she had to come back. But the thing is, the guy doesn't understand that she cannot come back like that. It's not that simple. Like, we need to get the transfer, and we're not close to get it like at all. Like, another lesson is, there's some situation in your life, your partner can be a blessing, but also your partner can slow you down in a way. They don't understand what you're doing, so they can interfere into your career, your life, and everything that you want. So be careful of getting into a relationship with someone that will not understand like your life, or even somewhat of an understanding. Like, I get it. You miss her. You want her to come back, obviously. But right now, she can't. So it's like, he wanted her to come back in between, like in her days off. But we're on call, so it's very not easy because they can call her anytime. Her schedule can change. You don't really have that much power to just move like that. And then she doesn't have a car. Are you gonna pay for those bus or train tickets every time to do back and forth between Montreal and Toronto? That's not cheap. I'm not trying to be like a negative Nancy, but yo, is he gonna help you pay? Oh no, but you know, like also like the rent, we are together, he's also paying and everything. Yeah, but he has to understand that you did that choice for your life to move to get a better career. He has to be patient. Anyways, so we tried to, make the best out of it. Went for breakfast, go out, try to explore Toronto and see what it has to offer, to see if we can really like picture ourselves living here. And I guess at the end of March, because we moved in March, it was time to know, okay, like, are we gonna stay here for another month? And I was like, I'm not staying here for another month. I knew that living with her, it was not easy. And then she was like, okay, well, what you gonna do? I'm like, well, I'm gonna start looking for a place. And she was like, well, I'm gonna commute. So she's gonna live in Toronto, like part-time, and then go back to Montreal back and forth. It's a lot of stress on her because, like I said, we didn't have a schedule yet. We were still on reserve. She thought that maybe I was gonna come to the crash pad with her, but I didn't want to do the crash pad now because in my head I was like, the crash pad has to be my last resort. Like, I was like determined to find a place. You can call me stubborn, you can call me dumb in a way, but I was like, no, if I don't do it the right way, I will not enjoy my experience. There was this girl that I knew. It's funny because back then we were in the same high school. I knew she was a flight attendant, but I didn't know that she was still in Toronto. I thought maybe she was in Montreal, but she was still in Toronto. She had a bedroom, a den for rent. So I reached out and I said, hey, I don't know, so-and-so, do you still remember me? She was like, yes, I remember you. I was wondering if the den is still available. She's like, yes, you want to come and visit? I'm like, yes, I want to come. It was a bit further from the airport, but once I got there, I was like, that's where I need to be. I finally found a place where I can call, yes, that's my home. I'm signing the lease right now. It's where we go our separate ways. We found a crash pad. It was cheaper for her. I was paying more. For me, having peace and stability was worth it. Moved there. There were two girls, so the girl from my school that I know and another girl. She was very nice, but she was barely there. I had the apartment for myself almost every day. And the other girl moved out, the one that was like barely there, that I saw her maybe like 3 times in the apartment. She moved out and another girl took her place, and that other girl is now one of my good friends today. I stayed in Toronto for a year, you guys. I only got my transfer in June of 2018. I did the full Toronto experience, honestly. There's 2 girls from that group that quit, and then 1 guy from that, remember the 2 guys at the beginning, he's not there anymore. It's another lesson again. When you get into those situations in life, sometimes you might think it could be your dream, and then sometimes you realize that maybe, it's not for you. It's okay if you decide to, do something else and start from the ground up. It's fine. I saw Isabella one time. We crossed paths in New York. We were working, but we both had a layover, but different schedule. I was really happy to see her. You get tested in life in situations sometimes. You have no control, no idea of what's gonna happen to you. Trust the process, but it's not gonna be easy, guys. Of that story, I have met and kept some good friendship, and I have learned a lot about myself. There's nothing impossible in life, honestly. You're gonna make it. You just don't believe in yourself enough. And that's another lesson too. Like, you have to believe in yourself.
Have no room to guarantee, so I fantasize.
go my fingers. This is so pretty. Basically, it's supposed to be for your edges, but it doesn't work for my edges at all. So I just use it like to control my flyaways, because for that, it does work. This is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed my story time. It was a long one, but you know, I had to finish it and give you the real tea. This is how I became a flight attendant. Like I said, if ever you have any question regarding my career, you want a full like dedicated video, let me know. It's gonna be a pleasure for me to do a video for you guys. Anything you're looking for when it comes to the wig product, like everything from my sticky little secret, make sure you check the description box down below, because all the links are gonna be available for you. I have nothing else to say, you guys. I'm just gonna see y'all in my next one. So be safe and take care, and I love you guys. Peace.